Okay, so a connected person. So let me tell you what the difference is between a connected person and a branch. A connected person is company A and company B are in the same group of companies. Branches are same company has got different branches in different locations. So Macro's got a branch in Woodmead, and Macro's got a branch in Crown Mines, and same company selling to itself with branches, whereas with connected persons, different companies within the same group are selling to each other. So guys, the rule for connected persons for VAT is if it's vendor to vendor, normal rules apply. I charge you, you pay output VAT to me, I pay it across to SARS, you claim input VAT, SARS pays it back to you. Everything's in a null position. If it's a non-vendor to a vendor, it's secondhand goods rules, okay? So what are secondhand goods rules again? Lower of cost or market value for value, and to the extent paid for time of supply. Only when you pay it can you actually claim it. So non-vendor to vendor, connected persons, you use a secondhand goods rules. It's got an anti-avoidance section in it, the lower of cost or market value. That prevents avoidance. If it's a vendor to a non-vendor or a vendor to a not 100% vendor, guys, the value of supply is the open market value if the cost charge is too little. So what basically the risk is with vendor to non-vendor is that we charge too little. So what do we do value of supply based on? Open market value. Okay, so time of supply is on open market value. And you need to base it on that. Okay, now, as far as this is concerned, just with the VAT legislation sheet, just again, you don't need to remember all of this stuff all by yourselves, okay? Please just remember for every single one of these sections, I've got tags within the book, within this sheet itself. So guys, if you want to have a look here, there, connected person to not 100% vendor, section 10.4, consideration in money for the supply shall be deemed to be open market value. So if you can't remember what happens with a connected person vendor to not 100% vendor, just if you tag it properly in the book, it'll be absolutely fine. And as long as you remember that it's secondhand goods for non-vendors to vendors, you can go and find all of the sections where you've got secondhand goods. And you can do all of that. There's secondhand goods. They're the three tags together. There's the rules for secondhand goods itself. You don't need to remember all of that stuff all by yourselves. Okay. Now, as far as branches is concerned, let me just explain something. It depends on whether a branch is registered separately with SARS or not. So let's just imagine you've got Macro, and we use that example of Woodmead, and we've got Crown Mines. Now, guys, if there is one VAT number for all Macro branches, there is no VAT when you transfer between branches. Why? Because you cannot sell to yourself. Pure and simple. However, if there is a VAT number, and let's imagine a VAT number was 1 there, and there was a separate VAT number, okay? So this was VAT and this was number 2. Because they both got different VAT numbers, when Macro Woodmead sells to Macro Crown Mines, okay, or they transfer stock in between the branches, there will have to be a VAT invoice because they are separately registered from a VAT perspective. And that's generally what the rules are going to be from a branch's perspective. Although here's a full summary of everything as far as branches is concerned. So both the branches are located in SA, VAT is levied on the supply if they are separately identifiable, maintaining their own sets of accounts. Okay, you need to do it. Okay, if it's a South African branch doing it for a foreign branch, there's different rules over here. So you can just have a look at it. So it depends on whether you keep separate sets of accounts and separate numbers, or whether you don't keep separate sets of accounts or different numbers. And that's how it's going to work with branches. So connected persons and branches intergroup transactions. This is video deals